Right. Let's address this issue very quick. I say modulate your life. Let the divine modulate your life, or modulate your life by the divine. Your life will be the single most longest goal you'll ever have. The maintenance, the advancement of your life will forever be that longest thing, the longest goal you'll ever have in your life, right? Unless if you are a hero of some sort, then you have a goal that supersedes your life. But in large part, an ordinary individual like myself would have their life as their longest goal there is. So the maintenance, the fulfillment of that life, that the life that I hold now, would be the single most longest thing that there is, and I will do everything in correlation to that. But here's the thing, like, the reason why I say modulate it by the divine, let the divine modulate your life or your goals, that is this. First of all, let's try to creep into what do I mean by the divine. The divine, I mean, if you follow the philosophy of Tao Te Ching, the Tao, that which cannot be defined and in a state is in a state of flow, that would be the divine, right? If you are a Christian, God, Christ, the Holy Spirit would be the divine trio, I would say, right? If you are strictly scientific in a sense, the pursuit of absolute reality or objective truth, that will be the divine eventually. Because now, if you look at things from a perspective of a scientific person, almost everything trickles down to, oh, this thing I cannot define it. It's so amazing. Like, look at language for an example. It's something like a magic to me. At least I can't just listen to myself talk and like not appreciate the evolutionary steps that were required for me to speak. I look at the dog, I'm like, man, only if you could speak, man. But anyway, all the things that are divine, they fall into, I feel like they fall into such categories like nirvana in the part of Buddhism. So now, why should your life be modulated by the divine? It should be modulated the same way you are modulated by a lecture when you're writing. Like, there is a set goal for you to achieve a certain criteria or rubric when you are given a module at school. So when you write your tests, unlike assignments, you are modulated by an individual who makes sure that you do that in an ethical way, and in so doing, and if you pass having done things in an ethical way, that would then mean you have learned a very fruitful element, or you have passed the rubric set by that module, and thereby you will be trusted to deal with things that that module was supposed to teach you in the larger world, you see. So you are employable. That's why there's certificates certifying the fact that you are able to do certain things in an ethical way. Therefore, you know it. You know it by your being, in a sense, right? That's the same thing. You are modulated by someone who knows better than you in order to make sure that you do things ethically, to indicate to you that you actually can do those things without cheating, in a sense. And therefore, you can trust yourself to apply yourself more and more into things that you will not destroy the world. Because cheating would be destroying the world. Lying is the same thing. So now, if you invite the divine to modulate your life, so imagine if your life is your long-term goal, right? At the end of it, you will be having that, like, you are in the pursuit of the divine, in a sense, your whole life. But then obviously you'll have branches of short-term goals, medium-term goals, long-term goals, or semi-long-term goals. All of those will fall in the category of ethical achievements, in a sense. There are two instances, like there are two goals that usually I see my including me, actually, my my peers are very much enthusiastic about, and it becomes dangerous when you don't include nothing that is bigger than any of these two things: power and money, right? Some sorts kind of influential things that are those things that fall under some certain desire to influence, right? The problem with that is if you pursue those things beyond or exclusively out of the boundaries of the divine, you're gonna go after those things in an unethical way. That's where you find trafficking. That's where you find drug selling. That's where you find manipulation of the media for you to get power. There's a lot that goes sideways when you do things with the exclusion of the divine in it. But then if you were to include the divine, it isn't that you won't want power, influence, or you wouldn't want money. Is that the manner in which you're gonna be going after those things would be ethical, so it would not be degenerative in society or to you actually as an individual. I don't trust the fact that when you go get some things in an unethical way, you're gonna get fulfillment as a person. Like if you sell drugs or you sell some other individual into sex trafficking or anything of those things, I don't think it necessarily reflects good in your part, like in your conscience as an individual. I don't think it serves you any good. But if you were to go in with the modulation of a divine, let's say God, or you don't want to trample over reality or ultimate truths, what tends to happen is you will get those things in an ethical manner, but it's going to take you a little bit while. It is going to take a lot of effort and sacrifice on your part, which will be actually fulfilling if you actually go after those things. You will get money in an ethical way, and you will have learned a manner in which you can apply to other sources that you can get money from. And that act will not be degenerative. It will be more inspirational. As a matter of fact, people will look up to you like, man, I want to be like you, man. You know, that's what we do with the about Jeff Bezos of this world. We look up to them. We're like, I really want to do this thing the same way Bill Gates them done the things. You know, we don't look up to some Nigerians selling our kids, or Libya sex human trafficking means of getting money. We don't look up to those things, right? It is very dangerous and degenerative, that manner of doing money. But then this way, it has with it progress and inspirational element with it, because you did it the hard way, you did it the ethical way. And Jeff Bezos can literally just jump on other companies and apply the same mechanisms that he did when he was creating Amazon. Still wins. You know, that is the beauty of doing things with the modulation of a divine at the end, or in the pursuit of that, right? Because you will have all this, like if you are in the pursuit of the divine, like Mother Teresa for an example, I would say you are bound to meet certain instances of human condition that will bother you. Like, I don't like seeing people on the streets hungry like this, you know, and thereby you will take proper measures in order for you to help those people get out of the streets, you see. So it doesn't necessarily only confine you, it also inspires you to do other good things, and it is very fulfilling. Like we defined, me and my friend, we defined way back what it means, what is the purpose of life. And one of the things that I have injected in all of that is that it has to be a giving act. Almost all the time, a giving act is a very fulfilling act, you know, and is very rewarded, as a matter of fact. A lot of people who are in the Forbes top 10 billionaires of the world, or richest people in the world, they're people who have given the world something very, very important, you know. About Mark Zuckerberg gave us Facebook, about Jeff Bezos gave us Amazon. All these individuals, they created something that is very essential, you know. Anyway, you should let your life be modulated by that, so that you don't get corrupted in your path of on your path of pursuing important things. Like, all your short-term goal will have that element of the divine in it, meaning it will be confined within the acts of ethical behavior in order for you to get You won't go sideways. You won't be able to cheat or you'll not feel okay to cheat in everything that you do. And that's the other thing. When things fall apart and your life is modulated by, say, let's say money instead of a god or a divine thing at the end. If your life, you have set your mind that no, I want power. When things are not going exactly the way you want them to go, which is gonna be a test of all people who are pursuing anything in life, you're gonna have a point where you're like, hey man, things are not exactly going where I want them, I would like them to go. When that part acts, that part comes, that's where it will show what exactly uh, is driving you. When you are driven by the divine, you won't just say, by all means, I get into this. No, you will actually, you'd rather lose that part. You'd rather lose the end in order for you to start afresh and do things all the way right. The people on the other side who doesn't have anything ethical or divine modulating them at the end, and they are only after power, like Stalin, for an example, they won't care. They won't care. They will be there all about getting power, and they will kill if it's necessary, of which they did actually. They won't care to, save lives, preserve their being, be willing to start afresh again and try to do things the right way. So it is very helpful for you to let your life be modulated by the divine, so that everything that you do within the confines of inspiration, fulfillment, beauty. I would say love, but people think about romance every time I say love anyway. That's it.